Hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Brett, but my friends call me Ooch, and this is the Ooch Experience. As always, we're gonna start the show today with a yo-yo trick, and it's one of my all-time favorite yo-yo tricks. I've been doing it for like 100 years, and I like it because it's a super visual trick. Now, of course, after we do the yo-yo trick, we're gonna go to the desk, and we're gonna talk about sign language. Yeah, we're going back to the signs because today I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. We're filming this in the springtime, and there's been a lot of pollen. And I thought that I escaped the pollen, although I was outside and I thought I was fine, but it turns out I have a little bit of a cold. And we're gonna talk about that when we get to the desk. But before that, let's talk yo-yos. This yo-yo, by the way, I call Snowball because I do this one trick with this yo-yo that I love called ski lift. You know what a ski lift is, right? Yeah, it's the thing that takes you from the bottom of a mountain, a ski mountain, to the top. Yeah, well, I love this trick because not only is it visual, but it reminds me of the winter, which I do sometimes like. I do like the snow, I just don't like shoveling it. Have you ever eaten snow? Yeah? Do you know all the flavors of snow? Yeah, there's only one good flavor, and that's the white flavor. Okay, yellow is not lemon. All right, here we go. I'm gonna show you the trick. It's called the ski lift. And it starts off with this trick, which is called the trapeze. Then I create a little gondola, as they're called. And we go from the bottom of the mountain all the way to the top. Pretty cool, right? Bottom to the top. Ski lift. And then when I'm done, I give it a catch and I give you a what? Ah, yeah. But here's the thing about this trick that's kind of funny. If you're trying to learn how to do this trick, which isn't that hard to do, sometimes something goes terribly wrong. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we're good. We get the gondola going. Here we go. This is the part where we sit down and we go from the bottom of the mountain all the way to the top of the mountain. And then when it's time to dismount, you start to pull your string and, the knot. You familiar with the knot? Yeah, me too. But there's something I know about knots that you might not know, and that is that a knot is not always a knot. Sometimes it's just not. I can get rid of my knot by just blowing it out. Ready? It's that easy. Now, before you try a trick in front of your parents or your friends, I need you to know one thing about knots. In yo-yos, sometimes knots are real knots and sometimes they're fake knots. Okay? And the only way to know if a knot is a knot is not by blowing on it. I don't want you to be like going up to whoever is standing in front of you with a knot and going, I know this looks bad, but if I just blow on it, that's not gonna work. Because all I'm doing is I'm pulling to make the knot come out. But the truth about knots is simply this. It's either a real knot or it's a slip knot. And in the case of this trick, by pulling like this, the knot will eventually come out. Now, in the event you have a real knot and you're trying to impress people and you're like, I know this looks bad, but if I just pull the knot, your knot might get smaller, and that's bad. But hey, that's why we have parents, right? All you gotta do is walk up to your parent and go, I love you. Can you take care of this for me? Problem solved. Ah, yeah. Okay, it turns out this is actually a real knot. Spinny thingy? Okay, let's go to the desk because I want to talk to you about how I'm feeling today. Let's go. I love this desk, partially because it's so comfortable. Really, you should try it. It's awesome. It makes me feel cozy. But I will tell you one thing, I'm not feeling cozy today. Nope, wanna know why? I don't feel well, kinda sick. But I'm not like super sick, I'm just like kinda sick. I have allergies, just like everybody. It's springtime, the pollen's in the air, and I took a walk the other day, and now the pollen's in my lungs. And I've been coughing and sneezing, and I've got a little bit of a sore throat. But you know what? I'm not gonna let that stop me. Because today is the perfect opportunity to do the sign for sick. Now, I've known about this sign for a long time. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine told me about this sign, the sign for being sick. As a matter of fact, when she told me about it, she was sick, and it made perfect sense. So I want to take this opportunity to say hi to Georgia. Hi, Georgia. Okay, let me teach you the sign for sick. It's super easy. Take two hands, and you kind of bring your fingers, the two middle fingers down like this. You're going to be using both hands, but you're also going to use your face because in sign language, sometimes facial expressions are really important. You have to do both at the same time. So the facial expression is you want to look sick, like that, sick. Don't feel good, sick. And you take one finger, you're going to touch your head, and the other finger right above your belly, right around your sternum area, like this. And you just touch like that, sick. But you have to make the face. Sick. Sick. And that's cool, right? Because everyone will know you're sick if you do this sign. It's very obvious. Okay, so that's the sign for sick. And I will tell you what, I am sick of being sick. I want to be done with it. I want to be finished with being sick. So I thought, why not learn the sign for done or finished? Yeah, and that's the sign right here. Two hands again, done, just like that. Done, finished, finished, same thing, except what's cool about this sign is when you do this sign, you don't just do this. You also go with your mouth. You say, psh. Yeah, try it, ready? Psh. Psh. I know it sounds like fish, right? Like fish, but it's not a fish. We're not saying fish. It's psh. All right, are you ready? Let's put it together. We're gonna say we're done with being sick. Ready? Yeah, that's perfect. And I think we're done with this segment, but I want to say goodbye to my friend Georgia. Bye. Oh man, I'm so excited because this is going to be the first time we learn some tap moves. Now listen, I used to take tap when I was a little kid. I think I started taking tap lessons when I was about, I want to say like either between 7 and 9 years old. I think I was probably around 7 years old. And tap was my favorite thing to do. So today, I'm going to teach you a move which is called a paradiddle. And some people might actually consider this a little bit advanced. But hey, I believe in you. I know that you can do this. And in case the word paradiddle sounds familiar, I'll tell you why it does. Because paradiddle is a term that came from drumming. So anyone who knows how to play the drum set, by the way, I used to dabble in drums myself when I was a kid. A paradiddle is a drum move where you hit the drum with your right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. It's called paradiddle, paradiddle. And of course, you can make it go really fast, which I never really got that good at. But anyways, a paradiddle can also work with tap. So it's 4 sounds that we're going to learn how to do with our feet. We're going to make 4 sounds with 1 foot at a time. And today we'll start with this one, which is probably your right foot. You can start with any foot you want because these go back and forth. All right, here's what it's going to look like. Pa, ra, di, dull. You see that? Ready? Ready? Pa, ra, di, dull. There's 4 sounds. So let's break them down. We're going to go foot to foot on this one. This is when you take your heel. It is called a heel dig. You're going to dig your heel into the ground. Go ahead, do it. Ready? Dig. Good. Try with the other foot. Dig. Yeah, that's a heel dig. Dig. You're digging into the ground. Dig. Okay, that's the first part. So the pa, the first part, the pa, is the dig. You got that? Okay, good. Move on. Great. I will. Now, the part with the pa-ra is called a spank. I know it sounds funny, right? It's a spank. You're going to stand on one foot like this. Can you do that? And you're going to take this part of your foot, like the tip of your foot, and you're going to spank it on the ground backwards like that. See? Spank. Yeah. Spank. But it's only this part of your foot. It's not your whole foot because otherwise you'll get all, it'll get messy. It's just that end of your foot, the edge of your foot here. This is a spank. Ready? Spank. Yeah. Try it again. Ready? Spank. Can you do it? Try it with the other foot. Here we go. Ready? Spank. Try it again. Ready? Spank. You can do it. All right, great. So those are the first 2 sounds. Show me a dig. Show me a dig with your other foot. Now let's do a spank with our right foot. Get ready. Here we go. Ready? Spank. Good. Now try it with this foot. Ready? Spank. Now the last part is the easiest part. I saved the easiest for last because I know you're going to enjoy this. Here we go. We're going to do what's called a toe heel, where what you're going to do is after you've done that spank, you've got to put your foot back on the ground, but you start with your toes. So you put your toes down and then your heel down. See that? Try it with this foot. You put your toe down and then your heel. So it's a toe, heel, toe, heel. Not to be confused with doing this. We're not doing that kind of a toe. That usually happens when you're moving backwards or doing something backwards. A toe is when you take this part of your foot and you put it down first, the ball of your foot, and then heel. So let's do 4 toe heels. Ready? Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Did you do it? Aw, yeah. All right, now here's the whole paradiddle. I'll show you first before we even do it. You're doing those 4 sounds on one foot, starting with your right. Dig, spank, toe, heel. Dig, spank, toe, heel. Did you see that? The hardest part is going from your dig to the spank. Then the toe, heel is easy. Dig, spank, toe, heel. All right, let's try it. We'll do 4 of them, nice and slow. Dig, spank, toe, heel. Dig, spank, toe, heel. Dig, spank, toe, heel. Last one. Dig, spank, toe, heel. Great job. That's a paradiddle. I'll do it a little bit faster. Dig, spank, paradiddle, paradiddle. You can get it so fast, and it's so interesting for people. They're like, what are you, a tap dancer? And you're like, I dabble. Anyways, that's it. You just learned the paradiddle. Aw, yeah. Okay, before I leave today, let's do a quick reminder. What do you say? I actually remembered this time. Okay, here's the quick reminder before we leave. You know how when someone's talking to you and you think you know how they're going to finish their sentence? See, you probably did it to me right there because you knew what I was going to say. Well, I am going to ask that maybe try out letting someone finish what they're saying, even if you think you know what it is they're going to say. You know why? Because when you do that, you become a good, I know you finished my sentence. You said listener, right? Yeah, that's cool. That was like a little bit of a test. But it's a great way to show people that you're a good listener when you let people finish their sentences. What do you think? You want to give it a shot? Awesome. Okay, well, today we learned a little bit about sign language. Of course, we learned the sign for sick, and we learned the sign for finish because what? I'm finished with being sick. Yep, that's right. We talked about some yo-yos today as well. We learned the ski lift, and we learned that some knots are not knots. And of course, we finished with the paradiddle. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for coming by. See you next time? Okay, great. Bye.